Welcome to Nerdy and Flirty, a podcast designed to help you create a life that you love. It's nerdy with science-backed information, and it's flirty. It's fun, it's quick, it's straight to the point. My name is Cass, and welcome back to your new favorite podcast. This episode is like a bonus special episode because it's my birthday. It's literally my birthday. I'm 24, and yeah, this is like a special episode for that. And it's also 1 year of the podcast, so it's like we're celebrating my birthday and the podcast's birthday, so I just had to do a special episode for this. And while I was brainstorming what I wanted to say, I had like all these lessons come up in my head. I was just pen to paper writing down all these different things that I've learned, especially in the last year, but just throughout my life in general, from finance things, business things, relationship things, mental health things, so many different things, especially in the last year that I wanted to share with you. And I came up with 24 things that I've learned by 24. This episode is more like things that I could tell my younger self or things that I wish I knew sooner. So hopefully it resonates with you. And when I say that when I was scripting this episode, these things were just bouncing off of my head. They're in no particular order. All of this was just coming straight to my head in the most natural, organic way, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So buckle up, let's get into it. 24 things. Like I said, no particular order. There's business things, relationship things, general things. So let's just jump into it. So first thing first, and this one took me a while to understand fully, and I feel like this year it really resonated with me. No one's thinking about you the way you think they are. I know we hear this advice. This is way easier said than done, but it is so true. I wanted to start this podcast for many years before I actually did, and the thing that held me back was what I was thinking people were thinking about me. I didn't have any evidence. I didn't have any proof that people were talking bad about me or gossiping or making fun of me. I just made it up in my head. And I'm sure that there are people that don't necessarily agree with me. But the majority of people, no one is thinking about you the way that you think they are. No one cares. Like literally no one cares. They're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about what you're doing on the side. It's not cringe. It's not weird. So if there's something that you want to start, just start it. Literally no one cares. Everyone is thinking of their own thing. Starting this podcast, I realized literally no one cares. The people that I was worried about don't care at all. I get comments from people that, oh, how do you start that? I've always wanted to start something like that, but I'm too scared. Everyone's in the same boat. Everyone feels the same way. So just remember, no one's thinking about you the way you think they are. If you want to start something, start it. Literally no one cares. Number 2, your job has a direct impact on your mental health. I'm so glad I learned this at the age that I learned it because I feel like there are people I know in their 50s that still don't really believe this and hold on to this. It's not just a job. Even if you don't feel like it's your dream job, you're spending a third of your life working. Make sure it's a place that you feel at least happy and comfortable in. If there is any little thing that makes you uncomfortable or just extremely burnt out, anxious all the time, whatever negative mental health thing, if it is directly related to your job, that job is not worth it and you can find a better job somewhere else. You spend a third of your life working. You deserve to work in a place that you at least feel satisfied most of the time. Obviously, work is work and there will be times where you're not always happy, you're not always pleasant. But overall, your job shouldn't be so anxiety-inducing, so burnt out all the time, uncomfortable. All of those things are serious. It's not just a job, right? If you are feeling any kind of way every single day, look for other jobs. Even the same exact job title in a different environment can feel completely different. So take that seriously. Number 3, don't rush for a relationship. I know that this one's easier said than done, and I'm guilty of this too. But now that I'm in a relationship and I'm in a very serious, committed relationship, I look back on single me and I'm like, I should have just enjoyed it because this was coming. And if you're single right now and you feel like you're rushing for a relationship, it's coming for you. Enjoy where you're at because once you're in it, you're going to look back and say, I should have just enjoyed what I was doing. And that's all I'm going to say there. Because number 4 goes along with this. The right relationship does make you feel more secure. I cannot stand when people say, oh, you just need to love yourself more and then you'll find the relationship you're looking for. oh, you just need to work on yourself a little bit more and then you'll find your relationship. Whoever started that advice, I hate you. I really do. That is such BS advice because I know so many people that are so confident, they love themselves, they're amazing people, and they're still single. And before my relationship now, I was that person. I felt like I did love myself. I did feel like I worked on myself and I was independent and I was doing my own thing and I was loving it. There were many years of my life where I was in that and I still went on failed dates. I was still single. It has nothing to do with how much you love yourself. And if you're looking for a relationship and you can't find it, it doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you don't love yourself enough. It doesn't mean you're not working on yourself. It just means the timing isn't right. How much you love yourself is not going to force a relationship. And I'm not saying that that's not important because it's super important to be independent and love yourself and do all of those things. But doing all of that is not going to force the relationship that you want. So just keep living your life. There's nothing you can do that will force a relationship. Relationships happen at all kinds of random times. And when it's meant for you, I really believe it will happen for you. But it has nothing to do with how much you love yourself. I can't stand that advice because it's lying to you. It's telling you that you can do something to force a relationship, and the truth is you can't. There's nothing you can do to force it. So just enjoy your life. It'll happen when it's supposed to. Number 5, no one is going to come and save you. No one's going to do the hard thing for you. No one is going to do that dream for you. No one is coming to do it for you. And the hard truth of this is, if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. No one wants your dream more than you do. Whether it's a podcast you want to start, whether it's a dream job, whether it's going and traveling. If you don't initiate and start doing it, no one is going to do it for you. That's it, period. Number 6, run the day or the day runs you. This is something I learned the hard way. If I don't spend my time planning, I will not do the things that I want to do. I need to plan my life out and I need to spend the extra 5 minutes to make a plan, make a list, make a time block so that I have a clear visual of what I need to do. If I don't do this, I will spend my free time doing all kinds of random things that don't necessarily relate to my bigger goal. And I learned this the hard way. And even sometimes on the weekends, I fall into this where I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going? I need to make a plan every single day. So just try it out. Run the day or the day runs you. Number 7. This is a really, really good one. So listen up. That little voice in your head isn't always right. That gut feeling, that inner voice, that feeling you have, sometimes that's intuition, but sometimes that's just anxiety. Sometimes that's just disguised anxiety. Do not give in. I can't tell you how many times I had intuition, in quotations, that was actually just anxiety, and I ended up being dead wrong. Do not give in to that voice. And an easy way that I've learned to distinguish anxiety and intuition is intuition makes you feel better about it. Even if it's a negative thing, you somehow feel at peace. You feel like, okay, this is going to happen. Where anxiety makes you feel 10 times worse. If you're getting a thought in your head and it makes you feel bad about yourself and it makes you feel worse about your life, it's probably anxiety. It's not your intuition. So don't give in. Number 8, this one's important. Your physical health affects your mood. I can tell a distinct difference when I'm not sleeping right, I'm not eating right, I'm eating too much sugar, I'm getting my period. All of these things matter. So don't let those take over your whole life. It's okay to eat sugar. It's okay to stay out late here and there. It's okay to do these things. But just know that the next day when you wake up and you feel horrible, it's not a bad life. You're probably just hungry. So spend the next day doing things to help your physical health, and I promise you'll feel better. Your physical health has a direct impact on how you feel day to day. Number 9, it's okay to work on yourself and have things that you want to improve on. It doesn't mean you don't love yourself. Another BS advice that is out there is you're perfect just as you are. You don't need to work on yourself. You don't need to do anything. You're allowed to have things you want to improve on. You're allowed to say, I don't like this about myself and I want to work on it. You can simultaneously love yourself and still want to work on yourself. You're allowed to want to change things. In fact, I think that's very healthy to have things that you want to work on. Don't feel bad about that. This whole you're perfect as you are, it's BS. You can keep working on yourself. But with that said, number 10 is no one's perfect. Literally nobody. Not your partner, not your friends, not your parents, no one, not even yourself. So stop expecting people to do everything right the first time. We all make mistakes. Give people grace. See where people are coming from. Try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. No one is perfect, literally no one. So be very careful of the expectations you place on people because no one's perfect, not even you. Number 11, do not be fooled by what other people are doing because it's all fake. It's all fake. So many things are fake in this life, and it's hard to tell what's fake, but just know that a lot of it is fake. I saw this Instagram reel and the guy goes, sometimes their grass is greener because it's turf. And that is the perfect depiction of this point. Don't be fooled by what other people have because you don't even know the truth behind it. And it doesn't matter. It's okay if they have turf, but it would be stupid of you to compare your grass to their turf because it's not the same. Number 12, invest your money. Invest in your retirement. Invest in your savings, invest in your future, see a financial advisor. You will thank yourself in the future. It doesn't matter what age you are, you need to start now. Don't think about, oh, I should have started 10 years ago. Start now. The second best time to start is right now. You will thank yourself. Whenever I talk to people older than me, they always say, get into investing early. You will thank yourself. You don't have to invest in crypto and these big stocks or anything like that. You can see a financial advisor and have them do it for you in something a little bit more casual. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you where to invest your money, but it is not as intimidating as you think it is. Before I started investing, I thought it was much more intimidating than it actually is. Now I don't even think about it. The money comes out of my account. I don't even miss it. And it's building. And it's really rewarding when you get the statement that says how much your money has grown. So get into it. Get into it early. And number 13, which goes along with this, don't be car poor. Don't be house poor. And especially don't be Amazon poor. You do not need the latest and greatest things, especially if you can't afford them comfortably. It is important to live way below your means, especially if you're in your 20s. I know too many people spending their money that they barely have to look successful. You don't need the fanciest thing. It's okay if you're living in a place that doesn't look gorgeous and aesthetic and perfect for Instagram. You don't need that right now, especially if you're in your 20s trying to build up your account, build a life for yourself. You don't need the latest Amazon trends. And if you have a hard time saying no on Amazon, delete the app from your phone. Use your computer. You don't need all of these fancy things. Don't become poor trying to keep up with the Joneses. This is one of those things that you'll thank yourself later for. Number 14, which also goes along with this, is that trends come and trends go. Meaning that what's popular now will probably not be popular very soon. Just think about what was popular like 5 years ago. You would never do it now. But in like 20 years, it's probably going to come back. I noticed all the 90s stuff is coming back now. So just remember that. And remember it especially for the trends that are permanent. And especially trends that involve your body. Be so weary of them. And just remember that trends change. So if you're following a trend, be very careful. Remember when eyeliner tattoo was popular and now people are getting that removed? Oh my God, I couldn't imagine if I had to get tattooed eyeliner removed around my eye. I've heard that hurts a lot anyway. I can't imagine on your eyeball. Just be very wary of it. People are getting BBLs removed. People are getting their boob explants out. So just be very wary because you might regret it in the future. Okay, moving on. Number 15 and 16 go along together. So number 15, you're not too old to start something new. And number 16, you're not too young to start something new. I feel like it's especially hard in your 20s because you're in this weird middle phase where you're not necessarily a young teenager with their whole life ahead of them, but you're also not old enough to have these years and years of experience to establish yourself in a field. Don't let that deter you. Age means nothing. Do not let that stop you from your goals. The time is going to pass anyway, so do the things that you want to do, whether you feel too old or you feel too new. If you're good at what you do, No one will question your age. No one will question your resume. They will just trust you and be confident in that. When you're in your 20s, you have to have an extra level of confidence because people look at you like you're young. But that's okay. Use that to your advantage because there are advantages of being the young one as well. You can show that you're fresh in the field. You have new ideas. You're willing to work more. Show all of that and just do the things that you want to do. Don't let the age or anything stop you from what you want to do. Number 17, on the days where you feel like you don't want to do it, show up. Show up for yourself. Show up on those hardest days because those are the days where all the growth happens. Anytime that I've wanted to skip something and I end up going, I feel so much more rewarded those days than on the days where I felt like it. On the days where you really don't feel like it, those are the days you have to do it. If you're tired, do it tired. You will thank yourself afterwards. Number 18, the heaviest weight at the gym is the front door. Do yourself the favor and take the first step because that is the hardest part, is going inside. Even when you're into health and wellness and you're into a routine, it is still so hard to actually walk in there and show up, but show up. Remember, the hardest part is opening that front door and going inside because once you're there, you will feel fine. That is the hardest part. Get in there, get started. You will thank yourself. Number 19, this one hits home a little bit. Not everyone will understand you or even like you. And I know that's a tough pill to swallow if you're a people pleaser and you want people to like you, but not everyone's going to like you. Do not sweat it and don't spend your life seeking validation from people that will never align with you to begin with. Spoiler alert, you're never going to find it. There will always be people that don't align with you, and that's okay. Just like you don't like everyone else, not everyone's gonna like you. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, you just don't align with each other. And honestly, if people disagree with you, it means you're actually doing something. It means you're actually saying something. No one likes a chameleon that changes depending on who's around them. Number 20, this one's sweet, but apologize. Take accountability for your mistakes, no matter how big or small they are. People will always respect you more when you do that. Own up to your mistakes, even when you're wrong, even if it's embarrassing, even if it's uncomfortable. That will help you grow as a person, and people will respect your honesty, your integrity, and you'll make people feel safe to be themselves. No one is perfect, and it's really refreshing when you're around someone that owns up to that and embraces that about themselves. I know people that they are so comfortable being wrong that it makes me look up to them so much more. No one's looking for you to be perfect. They're looking for you to be honest and have integrity. Number 21, I love this one because it's refreshing to hear. You have the least amount of responsibilities you will ever have right now in this moment. The responsibilities just add up the older you get, so enjoy it. You have the least amount you will ever have right now. So take the trip, do the thing, start the project because it only gets harder as you get older. You only have more bills, more responsibilities, more things to do. So start it now. Do the thing now. Take the trip now. Number 22, you are capable of way more than you think you are. Our view of ourselves, we don't give ourselves enough credit. You can endure way more than you think you can. And if you don't believe me, think about the most difficult situations you've been in. You always manage to get through it. So be proud of that. You can handle way more than you think you can. Do not sell yourself short. You can do more than you think. You are capable of more than you think. Number 23, challenge yourself. Seek out challenges. Challenges are not just going to come up out of nowhere for you. Sometimes they do, but you have to seek them out, especially as we get older. Most of us get very comfortable in our life and every day feels the same. You have to seek out challenges for your life. Whether it's academic things, hobbies, sports, creative projects, start these things and challenge yourself. Be okay with being a beginner because that is where you grow. That is where you build new skills. That is where you feel fulfilled. If everything was easy, you would not feel fulfilled. You need to challenge yourself. So find these challenges, seek them out. And then our last one, and this one is super important, number 24, live in your timeline. No one else's. Everyone is going to be doing different things at different times, whether it's those key markers of life like marriage, children, house, career, all those different things, or even smaller things like little projects. Everyone's on a different timeline. Everyone is doing things at different times. You're not too far ahead. You're not too far behind. You're just on your own timeline. We're all on a different timeline, and the things that are meant to happen for you will happen when they're meant to. And we can easily look back on our lives and look at the things that happened maybe when we didn't expect them to, but we're always grateful it happened when it did. The future is no different. The things that will happen for you will happen when they're meant to. Don't compare to your friends. Don't compare to your parents. Don't compare to anyone else, because your timeline is your timeline. Your life is your life. And what is meant for you is going to happen when it's supposed to. And you just have to trust that and embrace that. So those are my 24 things. I really hope that some of these hit you hard and resonated with you. I know that they've hit me hard, especially in the past year, and I'm really happy that they did, because some of these lessons I've been trying to learn for many years and they finally hit. And I'm sure in another year I'll say, oh my God, I can't believe I believed these things. I learned this now and I know this now, because that's how life is. Every year you grow more perspective, you grow more experience, and I only know what I know right now. So thank you so much for listening. I can't believe it's been a year already of this podcast. It feels surreal. It feels awesome. I'm so excited to see how it continues to grow and where we take this. Share it with a friend. Share it with someone you care about. Let me know what you think on Instagram at Nerdy and Flirty Pod. And I'll talk to you next time. Have a great week. Bye.